everyone. It's Monday afternoon. It's a rainy afternoon here where I am in New Jersey. I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I'm the owner of Riverflow Yoga, a hot yoga studio here in Lambertville, New Jersey. Obviously, our studio is closed, but our online yoga classes are available, open and available every day of the week. And in the middle of the day, I like to do this one, which is a midday meditation class. It's a combination of meditative practices and a few yoga poses that actually help me to feel more meditative. So I invite all of you to join me. It's really nice to have time in the middle of the day when you can sort of pull back from whatever your day has been like in the morning and check in with yourself, just to have this moment to breathe, to relax, especially if you have had a morning that's been busy with news, with listening to the news or participating in work stuff, remote work, online, school, homeschooling with your children, whatever it is, this moment in the middle of the day to pull back a little bit and to find this place of feeling centered within yourself. So what I like to do when I first come to this meditation is to check in and see where I am. It's a wonderful practice that I learned from a friend of mine where you're just going to give yourself a number from 1 to 10. How activated do you feel right now? How agitated do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being very, very calm and 10 being sort of chaotic. So just check in for a moment and give yourself that number from 1 to 10. I would say I'm about 7, which is pretty high on the activation scale. And I really haven't done much to be activated about. I haven't really checked in on the news today. I certainly have looked in on my business situations, and I guess there are things that I've done to activate myself, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not asking you to regroup or recount or go over the things that you've done and find fault with them. I'm just asking you to check in to see where you're starting. And being honest, I'm starting at about a 7. So over the years, over my 45 years of practicing and teaching yoga and meditation, I've really seen the impact that it can have in your life. You know, impact is probably the wrong word. Impact implies something sort of hard-hitting. But I've seen the impression, the difference that it can make in the way your life feels to you to have a practice of yoga and meditation, which is why I maintain mine. Oops, didn't check my volume. That's why I've maintained mine all of these years, and really it has proven to be a practice that's helping me a great deal right now. It doesn't matter whether you've been practicing for 45 years or 45 minutes, or if this is the first time you've ever tried anything like this. It will still have the same positive effect. So, okay, you've given yourself a number on that scale of 1 to 10, hey Paula? So you have an idea of what your activation level is right now, meaning how agitated your nervous system feels. So let's just start knowing that number, let it go. Let's move into some practices that are designed to really bring that down for you, bring that to a nice grounding level. So starting with breathing, I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable position for yourself. It can be on the floor. You don't have to look like a meditator. It doesn't have to be in any classic meditative position. You can be sitting on a chair. I love to tell people that when you're sitting on a chair, you have a little added benefit of having the soles of your feet on the ground, which is very relaxing to your nervous system. So I invite you to go ahead and sit on a chair if that feels comfortable. You can even be lying down if you want. Lying down in your bed. And again, if you're lying down, it's really nice to bend your knees and place the soles of your feet on your mattress or cushion or floor, depending on what you're lying down on, to have the soles of your feet on the ground again. Now, you don't have to close your eyes, but you can if you want to. We're going to practice some breathing techniques. I really like to keep my eyes sort of half-masked, not quite closed, not really fully open. So go ahead and find a position for your eyes that feels comfortable for you. For you is the key here. When I teach you meditation, there'll be very few hard and fast rules. There will be a lot of checking in on what is personally comfortable for you. The purpose of meditation, as we're going to be doing it together here, is to soothe your nervous system, to soothe yourself. So why start in a place of being more agitated about things you're not doing right or thinking you're not doing right? All right, so you have found your comfortable position. I'm going to practice breathing. Now I'm going to recommend that when you take these breaths, it's in through your nose, out through your nose. But you're hearing the breath in the back of your throat. So you're going to make a deep Darth Vader kind of sound. So you're almost pretending that the breath is coming in and out through a hole in the back of your throat. So adjusting your posture a little bit for comfort. If you're sitting, if you're lying down, same things apply. You pull your collarbones wide apart, feeling a really beautiful sense of traction across your chest. You let your arms go limp, your palms facing up, your fingers feel kind of limp. Let your chin drop a little bit. It's always surprising to realize how much we all have a bit of this chin thrust sort of tendency to thrust your chin a little further out from where your head would sit flush on your neck. And this can be very not soothing. So if you'll just tuck your chin slightly, and then imagine that you are putting your head back on your neck. Imagine that you don't have to actually do this with your hands, but imagine yourself placing your head on your neck. So that's a little bit backwards from where you started. And now take a deep breath. So again, inhale through your nose, here in the back of your throat. And exhale through your nose and here in the back of your throat. Checking in on your chin being a little dropped and your collarbones being a little pulled, side to side. You can drop your tailbone down a little. Again, whether you're sitting or you're lying down, your tailbone can still drop down and under a little. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale, hearing that deep ocean sound in your throat. And exhale. Take another breath. Inhale. And exhale. You are doing so much for your body by taking these deep breaths. You are actually expanding your lung capacity. So important these days to keep your lungs really healthy and open. You're soothing your nervous system. Also very important these days to keep checking in on your own nervous system, seeing how soothed and quiet you feel, especially before you're about to take any action. You're dilating your blood vessels. As you hear the sound in the back of your throat, there's a little bone back here that vibrates, the hyoid bone, and it sends neurotransmitters from your brain throughout your body to dilate your blood vessels. So you're getting a nice even blood flow through your body. All of this is very interesting to know, but mostly very, very soothing. That's what you're feeling here, this sense of soothing. Exhale. So from this place of feeling very soothed, we'll do a few yoga stretches, a few poses that will enhance the sense of soothing that you have begun to cultivate from sitting and breathing. And throughout these poses, we'll be very mindful of the breath. And I will instruct you on inhaling and exhaling in in the places in these poses that are designed to help you feel the most soothing possible. So let's start with child's pose. So now you're going to move from whatever position you were in to your knees. Sitting back on your heels. Hopefully sitting on your heels is possible or comfortable for you. If not, give yourself a moment. We're going to be off the heels in just a moment. Place your fingertips on the ground beside you and make it your fingertips and not your palms. Notice when you're in your palms how much pressure you feel in your wrists. Wrists are not meant for weight bearing, but if you're in your fingertips and your arms are locked, you're mostly in your bicep muscles, which are exactly for weight bearing or for bearing, for strong bearing, right? For bearing your weight if necessary and for strength in any other ways. So now bend your elbow tips, looking at the mat or floor in front of you. Begin to lower yourself down until that spot between your eyebrows hits the mat. And when it does, you can bring your arms to your sides. So you just listening to my instructions, you don't have to watch me, but I'm going to make sure you get a good view here of what this pose looks like. Forehead to the mat, elbow tips bent, letting your shoulders slow. Make sure you have that spot between your eyebrows to the mat. This is a very auspicious spot, both in your physical anatomy and in the internal energies of your body. So pressing here is very soothing. Your elbow tips bent so your shoulders can slump forward. Your palms face up, your fingers are relaxed. Chin away from your throat. And take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, bend your elbow tips a little bit more. Let your shoulders slump a little further. And as you exhale, letting your middle back relax, letting your lower back relax, dropping your tailbone down and under. And let's go a little deeper into this pose. Place all 10 fingertips on the mat beside you. Lift your forehead off the mat a little and separate your knees into a V position. So your knees are out about 8 to 10 inches apart, but your toes behind you are still touching. And now again, lowering down from your fingertips. This time bring your forehead to the mat and your chest. And let your arms relax at your sides. Elbow tips bent, shoulders are kind of slumped. And breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. Make your breaths really full and deep. Try to follow my instructions on when to inhale and exhale. So inhale. And exhale. Now bend your elbows and place all 10 fingertips on the ground beside your knees and press yourself up. Come up into a tabletop position. So knees are 6 inches apart, wrists are 6 inches apart. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders, always a little further back than you think. You are facing directly forward in front of you. Now lock your arms at the elbows and rotate the inner parts of your elbows in so they're facing towards each other. As you inhale, begin to lift your face, your neck, your chest, so that your face and your breastbone are now parallel to the wall in front of you. Drop your belly and stretch your tailbone to the ceiling. This will feel particularly good if you've had a fever, if you've had a lower back problem or a lower back strain of any kind. Sometimes that comes with fever. Right after a fever, you might still feel the stress in your lower back. You stretch your tailbone to the ceiling, feel kind of a delicious ache, something that feels like a stretch in the best possible way. Now as you exhale, drop your head, tuck your chin as if you're trying to see your own throat. Tuck your chin that much. Lock your arms at the elbows. Rotate the inner parts of your elbows in. Round your middle back to the ceiling and hold here. Continuing to tuck your chin towards your throat. And inhale. Again, bringing your chin, face, neck, chest. Lock your elbows. Rotate them inward. Drop your belly and stretch your tailbone to the ceiling. Feel the stretch. And then exhale. Drop your chin. Wedge your chin between your collarbones. Round your middle back. Suck your stomach in. Hold here. And inhale. Chin up. Face front. Neck up. Chest up. Drop your belly. Stretch your tailbone. Really stretch. Really stretch. Keep your elbows locked. Rotated inward. Really stretch the tailbone. And then exhale. Drop your chin. Wedge it between your collarbones. Round your middle back and suck your stomach in. Inhale and bring yourself back to a tabletop position. And breathe right here. Inhale. And as you exhale, push yourself back onto your heels. And sitting up straight for a moment, palms in your lap. Pull your elbow tips towards your hip bones. Pull your collarbones wide. Drop your tailbone. Keep your eyes sort of fixed, sort of half masked, fixed on some object. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Collarbones wide. Chin drop. Tailbone down and under. And now deepening the stretch a little bit with Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Hands in prayer. Press your palms together, pull from your fingertips, stretch towards the ceiling, make your biceps squeeze your head. Drop your tailbone down and under. Stretch up again, nice and long. Feel the lengthening in your spine. And then keeping that spine long, just begin to pull towards the wall in front of you with your fingertips. Keep your head between your arms. Keep your hips on your heels. All these things you're just being mindful of on the way down. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Being mindful of being okay with accepting whatever is. And then you get all the way down, and you've got the spot between your eyebrows to the mat, and the blades of your pinky fingers on the mat. Now for me today, my shoulders feel very achy. So this particular pull just sort of hones in on that achiness. And my job is to let it go, to relax into it with breathing. So again, notice if you feel any particular achiness in your back, in your shoulders, in your arms. Just kind of be okay with it. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. So the goal here, your idea is not to push yourself into pain, but to be very tolerant and accepting of where you are. And just be mindful of whatever is for you in this moment. And breathing is a way of accepting. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, begin to pull from your fingertips, pressing your palms, squeezing your head with your biceps. You'll draw yourself back up. And again, this might feel achy. It might feel tight. It's all fine. You're being mindful. You're observing what happens, what it feels like to be you in this moment. And then drop your arms down and back into your lap. And breathe here. Inhale. So for me in this moment, I notice that what I'm feeling is a little bit dizzy, a little bit sort of lightheaded. Whatever it is that you notice for yourself in this moment, just have a moment of saying, okay, I got it. That's how I feel in this moment. This is the first step in being mindful, being able to accept where you happen to be in this moment. Where you are in this moment is not who you are. It's where you are, what you're noticing in this moment. And if you're honest with yourself in this present moment, without any judgments, without any harsh feelings against yourself, where you are right now is really okay. It's really fine for you to be exactly where you are. If I'm telling you that after 45 years of practicing yoga, in this moment, in these stretches, I feel achy, I feel a little strained, I feel and notice a little tightness, then certainly whatever you're feeling in this moment is okay. The important thing is that it's okay with you. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Lie down on your back. Arms at your sides, palms facing up. Heels touch, toes flopped apart. Pull your shoulders down and tuck your chin. And breathe in. Inhale, pull your belly out. Hear it come in the back of your throat. Exhale, tuck your chin. Drop your lower back. Pull your collarbones wide. And inhale, bend your right knee. Place the sole of your right foot on the ground. Exhale, drop your lower back. And inhale, bring your right knee to your chest. Bring your arms in close to your body. Pull with all 10 fingertips towards the wall in front of you. And then bend your elbows. Clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the right knee. Right away, pull your elbows into your waist and down towards your hips. And as you inhale, tuck your chin towards your right knee. And as you exhale, guide your right knee towards your right armpit. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your elbows pulling towards your hips as you guide that right knee towards the right armpit. Feeling the opening, the stretch, the ache, however it is that you define it for yourself, this feeling that you have in your hips. Maybe you feel it on top of your thigh, maybe on the outside of your thighs. Whatever you feel is appropriate. No judgments, just being in the present moment and feeling it. Inhale, shoulders down, chin down. Exhale, again, tightening the fingers at the webbing and guiding your right knee towards your right armpit. And then change as you inhale. Relax your arms to your sides. Place the sole of your right foot on the ground beside the left knee. And as you exhale, slide the leg out. Let the legs meet at the heels. Shavasana for a moment. Rest the elbows. Inhale. And exhale. In yoga, we call Shavasana the most challenging pose of all. Humans have this idea that we always need to be doing something in order to be validating ourselves for our very existence. So lying here and actually doing nothing can be a little bit of a challenge to your mind. But with mindfulness, with keeping your attention on your breathing, feeling your body, you can become someone who enjoys being in this present moment where there is nothing to do but soothe yourself. Inhale, bend the left knee. Place the sole of the left foot on the ground. Exhale and drop your lower back. Tuck your chin. As you inhale, bend the left knee, bring it in close to your chest. Pull your arms in close to your body and pull all 10 fingertips really hard towards that wall in front of you. Feel the satisfaction in that. Bend your elbows, clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the left knee. Elbows in your waist. Inhale, shoulders down. Pull your elbow tips towards your hips, chin down. And as you exhale, bend the left knee, clasping the fingers and guiding that left knee towards the left armpit. Now on a physical level, this pose is great for your hips. It's really a wonderful massage for your ascending and descending colon, so a great start for your digestive system. And on a mindful level, you get to feel all of this movement in your body. The things that feel like aches or stretches deep in your groin area, on the top of your thighs. And you're just present with it, which means no judgments about it, no thoughts about how tight you are, or inflexible, or how you should have been doing yoga all along. None of that. Just being mindful by breathing and feeling whatever you feel and accepting it as this is what's true in the present moment. Inhale. And exhale. And again, pressing that knee a little deeper towards the armpit. Again, feeling the great satisfaction of that. Change as you inhale, relax your arms to your sides, place the left sole on the ground and then slide the left leg out to meet the right, and then back in Shavasana. Inhale, pull your arms wide as you exhale, drop lower back. Inhale, bend both knees, placing the soles of both feet to the ground. See if you can walk your heels in a little closer towards your butt. Notice how that gives you this beautiful sense of stretching your back. Really nice traction. Noticing, not trying to achieve, just noticing. Squeeze your legs together nice and tight. As you inhale, begin to rise off your heels, toes. Your legs are squeezed tight as you bring them to your chest. Bring your arms close to your body. Pull all 10 fingertips towards the wall in front of you, and then bend your elbows. Wrap your arms around your knees. And you're going to grab whatever is available to you. It could be wrists, forearms, elbow toes. You're not trying to get anywhere in particular. You're noticing, you're being mindful of where you are in this moment. Inhale, tuck your chin, squeeze your legs together with your arms, and as you exhale, draw your knees close to your chest and tuck your chin towards your throat. So picking your head up off the mat, tucking your chin towards your throat, squeezing your knees towards your chest, relax your feet, and breathe here for a moment. Inhale. Exhale, squeezing the legs together with your arms, drawing the knees closer to the chest, tucking your chin towards the throat. And change. Inhale, slowly begin to lower your head back down to the mat. When your head touches the mat, release your arms to your sides, keeping your knees bent towards your chest. Feel all that blood rushing back into your arms. Enjoy it. Inhale. And as you exhale, turn your palms to the ground and bring your arms under your body with your hips on your wrists. When your arms are under you, pull your shoulder blades together under your arms. You can feel as if you want your shoulder blades to come together at your spine. And tuck your chin. Relax your hands. Inhale, slowly begin to flex your heels towards the walls in front of you. Flex your toes towards your face and squeeze your legs together into one tight unit. And as you exhale, slowly begin to raise the soles of your feet to the ceiling. So keeping it slow, you are mindfully observing it, feeling what's going on in your mind, feeling for the pleasure of this until the soles of your feet are parallel to the ceiling. Now at that point, your knees might be bent, your legs might be straight. Doesn't really matter. Just hold here and breathe for a moment. Inhale. As you exhale again, pulling from your heels, flexing the toes towards your face. So soothing to allow the veins in your legs to drain in the opposite direction, down into your hips. Holding here, pull your collarbones wide as you inhale, tuck your chin. And on the exhale, pulling from your heels again, simple step in, and begin to float your legs down. Now if you can imagine that your legs are being floated by some pulley system, some ropes from the ceiling, just going along for the ride. And as you take this ride, you keep your heels flexed, your toes pointing towards your face, your stomach stuffed in. At some point along the ride, you might want to lock your legs. You might be keeping your knees bent. Either is fine. Whenever you're along for this ride, you're being mindful, doing and watching at the same time. Eventually, your heels will touch down. And when they do, you will roll your arms out and begin Shavasana with your palms facing up, your heels touching, your toes flopped apart, collarbones wide, chin down, eyes open. Inhale and exhale. Notice when your arms came out from under your body, you began to feel that sensation of the blood flow coming back into your arms, into your fingertips, and notice it. Notice how you don't actually have to do that. Your body does it for you. Your body is always moving towards a state of well-being and wellness. It's really lovely to be able to check in from time to time and notice how it does that for you. Inhale, bend your knees, place the soles of your feet to the ground. Exhale, place your hands into prayer position in front of your chest, tucking your chin towards your hands. Pull your elbow tips towards your hips. And as you inhale, bring your knees towards your elbows. Pulling your elbows towards your hips, tucking your chin. As you exhale, roll over onto your right side. When you're all the way over, see if you can bring your right elbow all the way over your body so your elbow tip is on the ground. Tuck your chin into the little hollow space between the collarbones. Draw your knees all the way up to your elbows and breathe. Breathe. And inhale, place your palms on the ground. You're looking at the backs of your hands as you press and bring yourself back up to a seated position. So again, finding your comfortable seated position, whatever that might be, on a chair, on a mat, on a cushion. Now sitting up straight, pull your collarbones wide, place your hands in a comfortable position. This is one that I like particularly, with your palms facing up, palms touching. Pull your collarbones again, drop your chin a little, having that feeling of your head on top of your neck. Take a deep breath. Inhale, hear it in the back of your throat. And exhale, hear it in the back of your throat. And now just check in again on that scale of 1 to 10. Where do you sense your activation level is? For me, I feel more like a 4. Notice if your activation level didn't come down from where it was initially, or didn't come down to a 4, like I said. Notice that you might have some thoughts about that. And they're usually not complimentary thoughts about that. They're usually judgmental thoughts against yourself. So what you can just do in this moment is catch those thoughts. They have nothing to do with anything. They're just old conditioned mind thoughts. Don't let them interfere with your sense of soothing, with your sense of peace and well-being. Just take a deep breath. You notice the thought. Oh, there it is again. There's that judgmental thought I have against myself. Maybe someday you'll be able to laugh about it. For today, maybe you're just noticing it, being calmly accepting of it, and breathing anyway. Inhale. And exhale. And you have done a practice in mindfulness, which is to be with yourself, breathing, and noticing the movements of your mind. Sometimes they're very kind, but mostly they're not. Mostly the thoughts we have about ourselves are very harsh and very judgmental. You know, we say things in our heads to ourselves that we would never say to other people. We're harder on ourselves than we are to those we consider to be our worst enemies. We're really, really rough on ourselves. And I'm going to tell you that it really doesn't matter why anymore. Spending your time trying to figure out where these harsh judgments against yourself first came from is just digging deeper into these unpleasant feelings, these unpleasant thoughts. Just take moments like this where you can let them go. You can notice them. Try not to throw any judgments on top of your judgments, right? The judgments of, oh, I'm being really hard on myself. That's not good. No, it's just, oh, there it is again. That old conditioned mind creeping in, disturbing my peace, interfering with my ability to soothe myself and to be calm. And what is the point of soothing yourself and being calm? The point is this is who you are. When you can feel like this before you go out into the action journey of your day, then you bring yourself into your day. Not that conditioned mind self, but the self that you are in this moment. That's how you really get to enjoy your life, despite any conditions outside of it. Let's take another deep breath. Inhale, hear it in the back of your throat. Exhale, here in the back of your throat. You know, at any point in your day when you're feeling activated, or don't even wait until you're feeling activated, maybe set your timer every half an hour, every 15 minutes to breathe, to stop and take 3 deep breaths. You are breathing anyway. Right? This is one of those amazing things that your body, which is always moving you towards wellness and well-being. It's one of these things that your body does for you. You don't have to instruct it. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to direct it. It's just there for you, the breath. So, as long as you're doing it anyway, why not do it mindfully in a way that will soothe your nervous system and bring you back into this feeling that you have right now that, oh, I remember this person. This is who I really am. This is the person I said I wanted to be, and I actually am this person. It just needs to be connected every now and again. Every half an hour isn't too much. Every 15 minutes isn't too much. It's always a good time for you to reconnect with who you are, because who you are is really valuable and really special. Not to sound too Mr. Rogers-y, but it is who you are. There isn't another like you. There isn't another person making the contribution that you are just by being yourself. So be yourself. And do it not for the contribution that you make to others. Do it because it feels good for you. To live a life that feels like you're really here. You're really present. You're not allowing the worries of the future or the regrets of the past to interfere with the pleasure of being present in this moment. Thank you for joining me. I'm Rhonda Uretsky from Riverflow Yoga, and I will be here midday for you every